Hey guys, Mana701 here, and unless you live under a rock, then you know that Battlefield 4 multiplayer footage was revealed today at E3, and that is what you're looking at right now. Now I know every freaking Battlefield YouTube channel is going to be talking about the footage and doing commentaries and blah 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 and all that, and I'm not going to be doing that. I'm only going to be talking about one specific thing about the Battlefield 4 multiplayer footage, and I've gotten this question from quite a few people on my Twitter, and I imagine that a lot of my subs want to know my thoughts on this as well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here it is. Did you guys see that? It shows up at the very end of the Battlefield 4 multiplayer footage in a short, quick 2-second clip. Here it is again in slow motion. Alright, so as you saw from that footage, in Battlefield 4, there will be a counter knife. What does this mean? Well, from the limited information we have, obviously it means you'll be able to counter knife in a Battlefield 4 multiplayer. Now, the question is, how exactly will this work? Well, as you can see from this screenshot from the footage, the player can hit the F key and counter an attacker who's about to stab them. And of course, if they hit the F key, they will take the attacker's own knife, stab him in the gut, and take their dog tags. Now, I would assume that you have a very tiny window to be able to actually counter knife someone. I would guess it's a second, maybe a half second, somewhere around there, to actually perform the counter knife. So if you're not paying attention and you're not quick, you can't do the counter knife. Now, in theory, this seems like a cool idea, but in actuality, how easy will it be to counter knife? And can you counter knife an attacker no matter what direction they're coming from? If I sneak up behind someone and try to stab them, will they be able to counter knife really easily? If this is the case, and you can counter knife no matter where your attacker is approaching from, and I can see knifing being next to impossible in Battlefield 4 if you can counter knife every single knife attack that's performed on you, especially if you have a good second to press the key. However, here is what I am hoping, considering what we saw in the footage. That knife attack was occurring directly in front of the player. And considering how front stabbing was so freaking annoying in Battlefield 3, I'd say this is a very welcome addition into Battlefield 4. If an attacker attempts to knife somebody from the front, you should be able to counter knife it because you see it coming, and you should have a split second to react and block the attack and stab him in return. That being said, I do not want to see DICE implement the ability to counter knife people that are attacking you from the back or the side. If I sneak up behind someone and they have no idea I'm there and I perform a knife takedown on them, you should be rewarded for that. And it should be a silent, deadly kill. You should not be able to counter knife that, in my opinion. From the side, if they don't see you coming, same thing. They should not be able to counter knife that. Now, with the side knives, maybe we could compromise on that a little bit. If, let's say, from the front, and you see them coming, you have maybe a 1 second window or a 3/4 second window to counter knife them because you see it coming. Maybe from the side, they should lower that to maybe a half second or something like that, where you have to hit the key extremely fast to be able to counter knife. So from the front, you have more time to be able to counter knife. From the side, you have less time, and from the back you can't counter knife. That might be doable as well. Now I'm really hoping that DICE will have fixed a number of the knifing glitches that were present in Battlefield 3, including front stabbing and the glitchy counter knife that was present in Battlefield 3 when the opposing player had 50% or less health, and you could spam the melee key and kill them, even if they had a takedown on you. I'm hoping the counter knife resolves both of those issues in Battlefield 4. Of course, with ping and hitboxes being the way they are in Battlefield 3 and all other Battlefield titles, I still think there will be problems with the Battlefield 4 knifing mechanics, considering they're keeping knife takedowns in the game. Alright, those are my thoughts on the Battlefield 4 Counter Knife. Hopefully they will do it the way I hope, and because if they don't, it's going to be next to impossible for me to make knifing the Battlefield 4 pubstars, and I'm sure none of you want that to happen, because I really want to make that video series happen for when Battlefield 4 comes out. And so, as always, this is Mantis701, reminding you to always watch your back. Later.